Hello, hello. Hello, guys. How are you? I hope all is well. I hope you started the new year wonderfully, because I know sometimes how it is. Things can be, you know, maybe not the way we so wished it, but I hope that so far so good for you. I hope that you have started the year just the way you hope, just the way you wish things were better than last year. Definitely. So, how are you tonight? I know this is a bit of a late live. Usually I go so much earlier than that, but this is just a live that's like overdue and that's been delayed. So I decided, no matter what, I'm just gonna do it, and when you're up in the morning, you'll be able to find it point blank, you know. So how are you? How you feel? How's your heart? How's your head? How's your mind? How's your spirit today? Of course, it's near to be another day, but why not ask right now? How are you? Um, so as you can see, for tonight, I just wanted to touch certain things about the new year because every time the new year comes, people make plans, they have all these great ideas, and by the time it gets to the end of the year, or by the time we get in the middle of the year, none of the things that were planned were done. So usually this happen because a lot of times we miss out on making a definite plan. It's like we make plans, but the plans are not definite. The plans are not 100%. They're not really what we put our hearts into. Sometimes plans are being done because people are scared to be left behind, or sometimes people see that this is what's popular, this is what their friends are doing, so they do the same thing. However, if you want your plan to go through, if you want to get to the bottom of it, if you want to succeed, you're just going to have to do what it requires for you to get there, right? Um, so pretty much as you see, I said, create your own chance, because a lot of times people live their lives. Um, Wait, did I even introduce myself? I don't even remember because I'm just like so focused trying to get into the lesson. Anyhow, if you're new, because I see a few of you guys are up that late, I'm so glad. So my name is Reverend Dr. Marie Breville. I focus into health and wellness. And by that, I'm not talking about just, dieting and all that stuff, but I'm talking about your spirit, your mind, your internal well being. So, with that said, we can continue now, right? So, as I was saying, create your own chance. A lot of times we're hoping that someone will come and pull you out of the gutter, pull you out of wherever you are to save you and be your rescuer. In the meantime, you can do it yourself. It's like imagine you're Superman, but you're waiting for Batman to come and rescue you from a building that's burning. It's not necessary when you have all of the stuff, all of the tools, everything that, Batman or Batwoman has, you have them too. So there's no need for you to sit back and wait and hope that, they will come to your rescue. All right. So this is kind of like what we are going to talk about tonight. Um, let's look a little bit at the recent or the former past year quickly. And when I say quickly, it's just because, if you've been following, I don't like to dwell on the past. I don't like to sit on the past because it's already the past. There's a reason why it's called the past. So we got to kind of forward in the present and move forward into our future. But if we were to take a quick look and you had to ask yourself, did you do your best, or was it the best that you had to offer? What would be the answer? Just think about it. Take a deep breath. Just think about it. Think about it quickly. You don't have to, as I say, dwell on it, but just think about it. For this year that just um passed, did you do your best? I know there's a lot of things that happened, but still, did you do your best? Was it the best of you that you offered this past year? And ask yourself, what did you do with the past year? What did you do? What did you do with it? Did you contribute to anything positive to your life, to someone else's life, to humanity? Um, what did you do? What did you do with the past year? How did you utilize it? Did you actively participate, or is it something that just passed you by, just like a car or a train passes you by? Did you focus on yourself, or did you focus on other people? Or did you focus on other things, like games, and did you focus on things? When you look at it, can you say you have grown? Have you grown from the past year? If so, how? And lastly, would you say that from the past year that you're a better person? If someone were if someone were to ask you, or if someone that knew you saw you, could they see that, oh wow, there's a change? It doesn't have to be like everything. It doesn't have to be that you used to eat chips and candy and chocolate and you drop all of that. It doesn't have to be all of them. But you used to smoke, now you don't smoke anymore. It could be one thing. It doesn't have to be 1,000 things. Because I believe that in being better and doing better is every day you drop something and earn something better. If you drop cigarettes, drinking water, the next day you drop drinking alcohol, you pick up exercising. The following day you drop eating junk and you pick up a better diet. You know what I mean? So every day you're going to drop something when you're trying to be better and do better. Every day you just keep on picking up and dropping off. You don't want to try, because I always tell my clients, you don't want to try to drop everything at the same time. You don't want to try to get over everything all at once, because it doesn't work. Before you even get to the middle of it all, you will drop it because it's too much. It's too much for you to carry. It's too much of a burden. So I hope you caught on all those questions. Just stop. You can pause the video. Of course, that's after today. That's after tonight and a few, because I'm not, hopefully not be here long. But yeah, ask yourself this question. Pick up a nice little notebook or something. And if you don't have one, you can go on Amazon, type my name. You'll find some beautiful notebooks. that we recently made. So just kind of like, answer yourself. Because a lot of times I know I keep telling, you guys and some other guys and gals, you know, um, no, but seriously, I keep saying this a lot of times, like, you have to write things down. Like, you just have to write things down. Because when you don't write it down, it's like it didn't happen. It cannot happen. It doesn't matter. You have to write things down. That's why every time you see when I come and I ask you questions or I share something, I always say get your notebook, get your piece of paper, write it down. You might not choose to write the questions down, but write your answers down. Because when you write it down, it gives you a different perspective. When you write things down, um, you start seeing it a different way. You start seeing it um, another way that you didn't even realize existed. You know, you didn't think something was this way or that way, but then when you're writing down, more ideas come to you, or a different view comes to you, and you're like, oh, wow, I never thought of it this way before. Oh my God, I didn't think that it was this way and that way. And, you just never know what you might be able to create when you take your time to write things down. So please, if you do nothing today, just do one thing, write it down. All right. Um, so definitely, this is much more about a session of let's look through, or let's look at the past so we could get to the future, or so we could have an idea of how we want our future to be like. Because a lot of times we want things but we don't make plan for things. It's like, all right, I'm getting too deep in the lesson now. Let's take it easy. Be patient. All right. Okay. um when you at yourself now, when you're being in the present now, um do you ever ask yourself, am I on the right path? Do you ask yourself, are you on the right path? You know, is that really where you want to be? Um, or do you just want to keep following everybody else? Does it come a time where you're like, okay, enough is enough. That's not me. That's not who I am. That's not where I want to be. And then you stop and then you move forward. Or do you sit there and suck it up and just keep following everybody? Someone is going to Japan today. Yeah, you jump in a plane and you go with them. Ah. And tomorrow, someone is going to Argentina. Well, you say, hey, sure, let's go. The following day, someone is heading to Africa and you don't even know which country they're heading to. You're like, okay, sure. And sometimes that's what happens when you don't have a definitive plan. And that's why I keep talking about writing down, because when that person asks you to go somewhere or do something, you would have realized, you know what, I wrote it down. This is not part of my path. I might be able to do it, but not right now. So, let me catch up with you some other times. Right now, like they say, here, let me take a rain check. I'm not ready for that right now. So ask yourself those questions and don't do it in a rush. Take your time. Like I said, write it down because it always makes a difference. So now ask yourself, am I doing or am I living the way I want to? Or am I living my life for other people? Or am I living the way others want me to live? And in the process, I mean, it could be friends, it could be family, it could be your church, it could be anything, anybody, you know? But now, are you doing all that while forgetting, while denying, while neglecting your own self? Are you? Or are you happy? Just some food for thoughts. As I'm talking, I just want you to just take it in and just keep thinking as I'm saying it to you. I don't want you um to rush into anything. Oh my Lord, I didn't realize this was gonna be so uncomfortable. Or it's just me. Um just keep on. I just want every time that you hear the question, just take a step back. Don't run or rush into it and try to judge yourself or try to say, oh my God, I should have. I don't want you to do that. I'm not here to point the finger because we are all fall short from grace at the end of the day. So I'm not here to really point any finger because just like you're listening, I press play and listen to it and take a self check on myself. So that's kind of like what I want you to do. I want you to do a self check, not necessarily self judgment or self abuse or anything like that. I just want you to just take time and process it. Sometimes when you have to get to a certain level, you have to go through the process. I think I may have talked about this before. Like, if you want to have a baby, you got to go through the process, of getting your body ready, of getting pregnant, and then of going through the process of carrying that child for that 9 months, hopefully, because some of them they get in there, they don't want to come out. It's like 9 months and 2 days and 5 days and even 10 months before they finally get out. you know so yeah, so you got to go through the process. It's somewhere that you're trying to get to, and in order for you to get there, you got to go through the process. I hope I'm making sense. And even though it doesn't make sense, just go through the process, because a lot of times things don't make sense because you don't understand, because you don't see the purpose of it. But once you get to understand it, once you go through the process, and suddenly things kind of like make better sense, things seems to be okay because now you have taken it in, you have gone through a certain process. Now this part is certainly making sense to you. So there's no rush. Take your time, you know, hear the questions, um, repeat them to yourself, write it down if necessary, and then definitely write down your answer. Write down how you feel, how you see yourself. And again, watch how you answer yourself. I'm not saying this so you can answer yourself and be like, oh my God, look at where I am. Everybody's way up there and I'm over. That's not what it is. Um, Pretty much what you're going to do is, okay, I really wanted to be there, but I'm really here. So now, what is it that I did that caused me to still be here while I really wanted to be there? So now, um, what else can I do to support myself to get there? Who else in my environment is supportive enough to help me to get to where I'm heading to? Sometimes you might need support. Sometimes there are some journeys that we must take alone. So it all depends on how things break down. So now let's look at certain things last year. What are some tools that you used last year that seem to have worked for you? Um, let's say, for example, maybe you used a to-do list because people had to be home for so long. Your habits were interrupted. So now you had to come up with a different way um to tackle your task. So now you had to use a to-do list. Maybe a to-do list worked for you. Maybe you find an app that worked for you. Maybe some reminder notes work for you, like those yellow stickers or whatever color stickers that pleased you that day. It could be perhaps a planner, as we used to call it, an agenda. um, Maybe a calendar. They're all about the same. It's just different formatting that caused the name to change. So, what is it that worked for you? And how can you replicate that back into your life? If it worked for you last year, you want to definitely replicate it this year. And if you can even find another way to even um upgrade it to even make it even better, works even better for you. um and now, as we talk about the tools, what is it that you want to accomplish this year? What do you want to accomplish this year? And when I say this year, I know that sometimes people are stuck on that, January 1st, or, that first month, and everybody's like, oh my God, it's the new year. But when I talk about the new year, this could have been in February. This could have been in July. It is still a new year because every day is renewed. Every day is a new opportunity for you. Therefore, every day is like a new year if you think about it. So, whatever that you couldn't accomplish yesterday, today is a new day. Today is a new year. So, you can start today. So don't get stuck on the idea, because I've heard people sometimes, when they want to do something and they're like, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to wait for next year to do it. I'll think about it. I guess I'll do it, by January I'll start exercising. Why wait for so long while you can do it now? Because as I said, every day is a new day, is a new opportunity. Therefore, it is also a new year. So, whatever it is that you missed out on doing yesterday, you can do it today. You can start today. It might be something that takes time, like going to finish a degree or something of that nature. You can start today. So don't fool yourself with the idea of that worldly calendar of, oh my God, oh, it's already July. I missed January, so I'm going to have to wait for next January. No, you never have to really wait that long. You can create new possibilities, new opportunities for yourself. Let that sink in. So, what is it you want to do? You got to think of yourself as an investment. You're not just anybody. You're not just anything. You're like an investment. So, what kind of profits do you want to accrue at the end of the year? What kind of profits will you have at the end of the year? What kind of profits do you want to have at the end of the year? It's like, think of it. You're not $100 bill. You're way more than that. Let's see. Do I have? Ooh, my neck did not like that turn. Okay. All right. I find a 50. That's my son 50. But it's all good. Hopefully he doesn't hear me. He's the type to come here and be like, give me my money. Thank you. Okay. Think of yourself as this 50. Let's say that at the beginning of the year you started as a 5. You were only a 5 while maybe people around you could have been 50s already. They could have been hundreds, they could have been 200, but you only started as a 5. But then guess what? By the end of the year, there you go. You're now at 50. So you got to see yourself as an investment. This is what you are today. You know, by next year, how do you want to be? Do you want to remain the same, or do you feel like you need an upgrade by next year? You want to have like, I don't know, the things people are in these days, like you want to have a bigger house, you want to have a better car, you want to have another degree, you want to actually go back to school. What is it at the see? Every year you got to see yourself again, every day you have to see yourself as, what is it that I want to accomplish? What is it with these days that are passing? Because a lot of times people have so much time in their hands and they think they have no time. That's the illusion that we have. People always sitting there and they thinking that, oh, you know what? I have no time. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Someone was talking about, oh, you know what? I'm already like 70. I'm too old for this. I can't do it. Guess what? By the end of the year, how long is the program? Oh, 2 years, 4 years. If you don't go in the program at 70 and 4 years later you're 74, you could have finished that program. So now you're going to be 74 still without the degree because you couldn't take 4 years to focus on it. And this is where people make a lot of mistakes. People sort of fail themselves, with the illusion of time. Your mind doesn't care about time, your consciousness, your spirit. They just want to accomplish things. They just want to do things. Okay, this is what you want to do. Let's go and do it. Okay, this is what you want to do. Let's go and get it done. It's not a matter of, oh my God, it's time. It's the human in you that's constantly worried about time because you've been presented with time. So constantly your mind is about time, is about time. You're always thinking that, oh, there's something that you're losing because, it's time. But at the end of the day, you don't really. You just got to get things done when you got to get things done. As simple as that. You just got to get things done when you got to get things done because that's just the way it is. So don't fool yourself into the idea of, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. In the meantime, you spend 20 years talking about you don't have time for something that would have taken 4 years. And that could have double or triple or quadruple your current income. So this is where we fail ourselves. This is where we get it wrong. I have seen quite a few people that I've worked with or that intended to work with me. And they've been, advised certain things that they could consider, and they didn't really take the suggestions. And some of them definitely took the suggestions. And when they bump into the people that actually took the suggestion, they couldn't believe their minds. They couldn't believe this person was actually at a lower stage than they were. And now this person is like double, their status. because this person actually took the time. It's not necessarily because you took exactly what I said, because I'm not telling you specifically this is what you do, one, two, three. No, you know what you need to do. My job is just to remind you, because I'm not making you great. You already great. I'm not making you unique. You already unique. I'm not, I'm not making you special. You already special. I'm not making you extraordinary. You already extraordinary. So I'm not giving you any superpower because you already have your superpowers. I'm just helping you to get there. I'm just reminding you of who you are or who you were, and you just can't remember right now. I just help you. I just push you to get there. But I'm not creating it. I'm not making it, you know? So it's up to you if you want to remain where you are or if you want to grow. That's your decision. I know sometimes like your eyes can be blurry, it's hard to see. Um it's like people see, they see doctors, they see nurses, they see psychiatrists, psychologists, pilots. It's like, wow, this look great, but I can't do that. I don't have time. I have to do this. I have seen people with like one kid or two kids or three kids, even that, have the biggest excuse in the world that everything is impossible, how they can't do this, they can't do that. I have known people who have had 7 and 10 kids and 12 kids who find time to accomplish exactly what a person with one child couldn't do. So if you want to do it, if you decide that, listen, I'm going to make this, I'm going to create this, I'm going to get there, you're going to make it. You can make it. The only thing you have to do is set your mind up. You just got to decide, listen, you know what? This is what I'm going to do today. And that's the bottom. That's the bottom line. I'm going to get it done. So, as I said, you are an investment. So what profit will you have by the end of the year? Or if you picking up in the middle of the year, um you could decide, since we're going by a 12-month calendar, you could decide, okay, in 12 months, what will I accomplish? Will I pick up another language? Will I earn another degree? Will I be in school? Will I open a new business? What will you accomplish in 12 months? How will you spend your investment? Will you grow it or will you let it die? Remember, um, I'm just gonna paraphrase. Remember the Bible story of oh my God, I'm in so much pain. I'm trying not to say it. Um, see, that's why I'm losing my train of thought now. But the guys that received the gifts, you know, this one had it, doubled on it, that one had it, used it, great. And this one had it, buried it, and wait until the master get back and say, yeah, master, I buried it, kept it for you, kept it safe. So are you going to bury this investment to keep it safe because you're afraid to double it up? Or are you just going to put your fears and all your unnecessary feelings and thoughts aside and focus and double your investments? It's up to you, not up to me. And it's not up to anybody else. So now, what are some goals you have set or you want to set for this year? A lot of times, see, people talk about things, but nothing is concrete. Nothing is definite. It's like, yeah, I guess I may not. Imagine if you go to a restaurant and they have like rice and beans, they have rice and peas, they have rice and plantains. I'm just saying, you know, obviously I eat rice, right? So imagine they have all three laid out, and then they have chicken, they have goat, they have vegetables. And they ask you what you want, and you're like, I don't know. And guess what? Someone who's there who needs to like get their food to go to work. And if you don't let them go before you, now they're gonna be like, well, God is good. And they're just gonna make the choice for you. They're gonna start putting stuff in your head. Well, get that one, get this one. This is good. Or even the owner, or the server of the restaurant will just make a choice for you. Because this is what happens all the time. And then when you get home, you're like, why they give me goat? I don't eat meat. But you weren't thinking when you were in the situation. You were not making up your mind. Now you picked up chicken, goat, and rice and beans, and you're allergic to beans. Guess what? Somebody's not going to have dinner tonight or lunch, whatever reason you got it for. You're not going to be able to eat. It's rice and beans. You're allergic to beans. And then they give you chicken and goat, and now you don't eat meat. So you got to make up your mind. You got to make up your mind, because when you don't make up your mind, people make it up for you. And when people make it up for you, they don't necessarily make it up for your best interest. People make it up for you for their best interest. You didn't want to drive, but guess what? I need to go to the store. And now you're not sure. You're not, yeah, maybe I should go out, but then it's snowing. I don't really want to go out. But then I'm like, I want to go to the store. So I'm like, yeah, man, let's go to the store. Because guess what? You didn't make up your mind. If you weren't going out, it's just like, period. I don't care if there's a fire. I'm not going outside. Like, there are days that I'm home, meditating, fasting, or whatever. And they know, my family knows that don't bother asking her for nothing. It's not going to happen, because you know what? These days are dedicated for what I need to get done. And I don't even try to get a doctor's appointment that day. And if I do, it's going to be one, and I'm just going to be like in and out. I'm not going to be in there, exiting, talking to people, nothing. It's just going to be in and out, because I don't have that kind of time. I need to get back to my stuff, and that's what I'm focusing on. But when you don't make up your mind, when you don't set up your schedule, when you don't write down your plans, when you don't use a planner, when you don't use your calendar, your agenda, your to-do list, you get to be pulled in different directions, and you don't even realize what you're doing. It's until the end of the day, and you're like, oh my gosh, I was supposed to go pay this bill. Oh my gosh, I was supposed to create this account to pay that other bill. Oh my God, I was supposed to. That's all that's going on. I was supposed to, but nothing got done. Dishes are still dirty. Food is still uncooked. Whatever else that needed, home is still unclean, because you know what? You allowed yourself to be pulled in every direction, and you never got what needed to be done. So remember, I said you can always start that it may be January 1st or June 1st. It's still a new year to you, because your year is not a matter of everybody else's year. Your year is not about the global year. It's not about the society year. It's not about the whoever year it is. It's about your own personal year. So right now you decide that, hey, listen, I'm going to start to do this thing. It's your year. You start it. You know, the general standard of calendar, whatever time they have going on, but you can make up your own time. You can decide, you know what, I'm gonna do this today. I'm gonna start school. I know we in March, but I'm gonna register for school anyway. Listen, I know we're in August. Everybody's out. You know, people are in vacation and spring break and whatever break, summer break. Um, um, but I don't care. I'm just gonna register anyway because you know what? I'm gonna start right now. I'm not gonna wait for January, February, whatever. I'm gonna start right now. So it's up to you to decide what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. You don't need people to come and tell you, um, when to go about what you need to do. So, as I was saying, what are some goals that you have this year? Um, and remember when you're writing down your goals, be sure to have your mindset, your intention as um I believe in myself and I know I can create the best goals that are good for me, you know and don't think that I'm trying to get you to just be focusing on you. It's about you, forget everybody else, let them die. No, that's not what I'm doing. But a lot of times we try to care for other people. In the meantime, we haven't cared for ourselves. The Because we haven't cared for ourselves, we become a bit impatient with other people. You know, we become impatient because it's like we need this for ourselves because we're neglecting ourselves and trying to hand it over to someone else. So now it makes us very impatient, because we burned out. We just don't have that kind of time, that kind of moment to just be like, okay, let me breathe. Okay, we can do this. No, it's not gonna happen. So be sure to believe in yourself. Make sure you believe in your goals. um don't start, okay, like, don't say you want to be a pediatrician but you hate medical courses. Doesn't make sense. That's what I mean. So make sure you do the things that are good, that are good, that are good for your goals. That's how you believe in them, by doing things that will work for them, not against them. And I think I shared this with you before that I used to go to school with this young lady. She wanted to become an accountant, but she hated accounting classes. She hated math. She hated anything that have to do with math. Algebra, it didn't matter what kind of math. It could have been math of addition of 1 plus 1 and 2 plus 2. She hated that because that required too much thinking. So that doesn't make any sense because if you want to be an accountant, eventually you're going to have to take some courses in accounting. I mean, it only makes sense. Imagine you had a doctor that never had a medical course. Imagine you had a doctor that only had accounting courses. How scary would that be? So you got to do things that work for your goals. Be in the environment with people that work for your goals. You don't want to be doing things, you want to be, I don't know, you want to be like a driver, a pilot or something. And then you go hang out with friends that are drunkards and that ended up causing you to have they didn't cause you to have a DUI, you being there and you made a decision to drive while you were drunk. Now you have a DUI. Now this is going to affect your ability to drive. Now, as a person who used to be responsible, now you have to go to class for this. You have to go pay a lot of money. You have to do a bunch of things just because you made one silly decision of driving while you were intoxicated. driving under the influence. So when you're thinking about your goals, um, no matter where you are, you know, set your goals for yourself. Make sure that what you do will support your goals, not destroy them. Make sure whatever you do will push you up to reach your goals, not push you down to suffocate you and cause you to miss out your opportunity all at once. So, people are often waiting to be great so they can act great. But that's a false mentality. In order for you to be perceived as great, you got to start acting now. You got to start acting great now. So you're not going to be that great person and all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm so great. No, you're going to have to start doing the things that are great. So then eventually people are like, oh wow, this person is really great. You know, it's just like if you want to be a photographer, you're not going to write every day. No, you're going to take pictures every day. And eventually, even sometimes you might not even have trainings, and people are going to be like, you can become the town photographer without even any training. Why? Because you were taking pictures every day. So you kind of like have to balance things. You got to realize these are my this right here is my goal, or these are my goals, and this is what I'm going to do in order to get there. Don't have goals just sitting there like statues and nothing being done. Goals are made for you, or you create your goals so eventually you take actions and you grow to get there. You don't have the goals just so you could sit there and stare at them. That wouldn't make any sense. You have goals so you can grow from them. So definitely um, do things that's going to help you to grow even better as a person. That's going to get you to where you need to be without having to constantly be in the wrong environment, and then now causing you frustration, and now you don't feel like you complete because you know what, there's some stuff missing. Part of you's missing. Now you're traveling to India, to Africa, to Haiti, to all the Caribbeans, trying to figure out who you are. People do it all the time. You don't need to travel the world to figure out who you are. You can figure out who you are just right there where you're sitting at. But it requires time. It requires patience, you know? So what are you willing to do for your goals? A lot of times people have a lot of goals, but they're watching TV all the time. I remember someone wanted to do something that only took maybe 3 months to 6 months, but they couldn't turn off the TV and focus on that thing to get it done. And it was years later, still couldn't do something that required only a couple of months. In the meantime, you're spending years watching TV. You're pretty much paying somebody else's salary. You're causing someone else to make money. And I'm not against people making money, but what I'm saying is, what about you? What about you? You need to make some money too. You deserve it. You deserve to shine, like everyone else. So you count. You matter. All right. And another thing is that a lot of people are always talking about, making the world a better place and making other people better, focusing on everyone else. While in the process, you're neglecting yourself. When you're neglecting yourself, and I was mentioning that earlier, is that it makes you like sometimes, you meet someone that's like, they're not rude, but they just act rude. It's not because sometimes people do it and they don't even realize it. It's not because they're like that, but it's just because the person have so much grief, so much going on that they meant to do that never got done, and then now they want to take it out on the world. So definitely focus on yourself. Take good care of yourself to ensure that, you know, whatever needs to be taken care of is taken care of. Don't wait for other people to tell you what you need to do, because you are well and able to take care of yourself. And in reality, if you keep on working on yourself, meaning to keep trying to make a better person for yourself, you got to get there. And to think of it, that happens a lot of times with